Hello, welcome back to another episode of 52 Movies, a series on my channel where I watch and review a movie every single week, except for last month. April was just a mess. But anyways, so today we're going to be reviewing the 2008 thriller film Prom Night. Prom Night is a loose remake of the 1980 movie of the same name, and I say loose because it's not really the same movie at all. Basically, from my understanding, I've never seen the original, but from my understanding, it's basically the only thing that they have in common is the setting, which is at prom. And before we get too far into this movie, though, I kind of want to talk about my own prom. My own prom was 7 years ago last month. And I'll insert some pictures here. I'm still very happy with the way my prom pictures turned out. It was just me. But I really liked my dress. I actually still have my dress. I can wear it whenever because it's not a prom dress. It's basically like a cocktail dress. I wore it to work one day a few years ago and nobody said anything. So it wasn't like super fancy or anything. And yeah, that was just something lighthearted I wanted to talk about before we got into this movie because it's a very dark movie. I don't watch a lot of these types of movies. I don't watch killer movies or slasher movies. I don't really want to see people get killed at all. So I don't really know why I picked this movie. But I've said that about the past few movies. But it's basically one of those things where I'm looking through Netflix and I just get frustrated because I can't pick out anything. I can't find anything to watch. So I end up clicking on something that I'm like, maybe it'll be alright. And it's never really alright. It's usually just okay or decent. Sometimes it's bad. So back to Prom Night, the movie. So, Prom Night is a 2008 thriller movie, and it's about a girl named Donna, played by Brittany Snow. She is being stalked by one of her former teachers, and this is just like the story of that. So, in the beginning of the movie, everything comes to a head whenever the killer kills her whole family, her mom, her dad, and her brother, looking for her. And then he goes to prison. So it's been a few years since that happened, and Donna is getting ready for her senior prom. She is now living with her aunt and her uncle, and she has a boyfriend and lots of friends. She's doing pretty well, considering what she's been through. But she does live with PTSD, I believe, and anxiety from dealing with this traumatic event. And she goes to therapy and takes medication for it. So she's finally doing pretty okay. It's been years since this happened. She's having nightmares about it still, and she's still having a lot of trouble with it, but overall her life is pretty stable, and she's doing okay. And the fact that her stalker is in prison does bring her a certain level of comfort. If that isn't a foreshadowing statement, I do not know what is. So if you haven't learned by now, Donna's stalker does escape, and he is looking for her. He makes his way to the hotel where their prom is being held, and he's stalking her there. He's watching her. He watches her kiss her boyfriend and gets really mad about it. He watches her dance with her friends. Eventually, they go up to their hotel room to basically check in and put their stuff away, and he follows them up there to see where they're going to be staying. He then kills the housekeeper to get the master key so that he's able to access their room. And this was really upsetting to me, like that poor woman. So the cops are keeping an eye on the place, but it's already too late since he's already inside the building. So as we progress to the movie, the stalker is killing all of her friends one by one as they enter the hotel room. The cops realize that he's already in the building, but it's a little too late for that. So they evacuate the building and they get like a SWAT team involved, and it's this big ordeal. It's really chaotic. There's people everywhere running out of the building because they sound like the emergency alarm. I don't know, maybe they should have brought in the SWAT team first, looked through every room without sounding the alarm, because I think once they sounded the alarm, it kind of alerted the killer that they were looking for him, you know, and so he was able to escape pretty easily. He was wearing a bellhop uniform that he stole from someone that he killed. But I think he could have escaped in like regular clothes. There was people everywhere just running out of the building. It was very chaotic. He could have just snuck out. They didn't do a really good job at containing the situation. I don't know what a real police team would have done. I don't know if they would have done like I said, where they secretly looked through every room and tried to find him on their own, or if they would have done like they did in the movie where they sounded the alarm and everybody was just running out. I feel like that's more of a liability though, because you're going to lose the stalker because there's people everywhere. There's no way for them to be able to find him if it's like a big crowd and everything's chaotic. So before he escapes, Donna does go up to their room to grab like her bags and stuff, because I think in her mind she thinks it's like a drill or something. I think in her mind she didn't think it was that important. So she does go up to her hotel room and goes and gets her purse, and she does have a confrontation with the stalker. Brittany Snow is a pretty good actress, and you can kind of tell that her character is really, really traumatized in this moment, and that she's not gonna be okay after this. This is gonna affect her for a long time. Like, it's really sad. So eventually she escapes, and the cops take her and her boyfriend to her house, and then they have like a couple of cops assigned to the house to watch the front and back entrance of the house, and they should have had more than that there really, but anyways. So like I mentioned earlier, the stalker does get out of that hotel and he makes his way to her house. Once they realize that the killer has already escaped, they go to her house and find that the 2 cops that they assigned to watch her house have been killed. Right before they arrive, Donna has a nightmare, and then she wakes up and things are happening just like the nightmare. After she comes back from the bathroom, she then gets in bed with her boyfriend's dead body. Also, the killer cuts the phone line so that nobody can call in, like the cops, and they also can't call for help. And then the stalker and Donna get in a really big confrontation, kind of like it was in the hotel. I was just, at this point, I was ready for the movie to be over with, because I'm like, this will be the 3rd time she's almost killed. And it's just too much, really. But anyways, I guess they needed a grand finale. So they get into a confrontation. He pulls her into the closet. I think he has a knife or a gun to her head or throat or something. I can't remember. So he's like, you know, holding her hostage in that closet. Eventually the cops do find her. She does put up a fight. This time she kicks him, I think, and she gets out of the closet, and then the cops kill him. And the movie's over. That's it. So let's talk about what I thought of this movie. And then we will go into like some funny things I noticed or some stupid things I noticed. First though, we're going to talk about what I thought of this movie. And what I thought of this movie was that it was unnecessary. I've never seen the original, so I can't really talk to how well it sticks to the original. But from what I've researched, it is basically a whole different movie. So I can't say how well it sticks to the source material, but I can say that I did not like it. The main character, Donna, has been through it. Oh my goodness. So at the beginning of the movie, she is still having nightmares about what happened a few years ago. And she's still having to deal with the trauma of that event. And now she's going to have to deal with this new trauma. I'm sure most people, if they ever had to deal with such a traumatic event, would develop PTSD and anxiety too. And I'm sure she's also dealing with survivor's guilt, because the killer was after her and he killed her family. The memory of prom, supposedly the happiest night of your high school career, is now going to be tainted for Donna. It'll be tainted with a night full of terror and death. She's not only lost her family, but now she's lost all of her closest friends and her boyfriend. She's going to have to live with even more survivor's guilt. This was supposed to be a thriller, on the edge of your seat type of movie, but all I could think about was how tragic it all is. None of this should have ever happened. He should have never been able to escape that mental institution. He should have never even had the chance to kill her family in the first place. Donna did report it. And surely that wasn't the first time that he got obsessed with a student. He should have never even been allowed to teach. I don't understand. So in conclusion, I hate this movie. And it was just one big pile of trauma and tragedy. It was just sad. Alright, so now we need to talk about all of the funny things that I noticed, or like the stupid things that I noticed while watching this movie. And I do have some notes here, so I'm just going to read them off. So, one is that in the beginning of the movie, Donna sees her killer across the street while she's getting her hair done, and then a bus goes by and he's gone. Which, like, if you've seen enough movies, you've seen that happen, like, a ton. Especially in this type of movie, like the thriller, horror type movies. You see this a lot. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess it is effective in, like, saying that she's still thinking about him, and that could have actually been him, because I think he was escaped by then. I don't know. But anyways, I just thought it was kind of dumb. But it may not have been dumb for the time. This came out in 2008, so maybe it was just now that I'm seeing a lot of movies and that I've seen that be done so many times, I'm just kind of done with it. Number 2. So around the 7-minute mark, I believe, Donna is taking her medication. She's got her medicine cabinet open, and she's taking her medication. And then when she closes the medicine cabinet, her aunt is just standing there behind her. And it's supposed to be like a jump scare. But why was her aunt just standing there watching her take her medicine? Also, how did she not see her out of the corner of her eye come into the bathroom? That was so dumb. Like, that's probably the dumbest part of this movie. Why was her aunt just standing there? I don't get it. That was stupid. Number 3. So girls in 2008 would just, like, straighten their hair to go to prom? That's a question. How old was I in 2008? I was 13 in 2008. And we did straighten our hair a lot in middle school. So I guess we would straighten our hair for prom? I don't know. It just seemed really simple. I'm used to, like, in the 90s they would do the really cool updos. And then now we do curls. And some people do updos. My prom I did an updo. Because I was like, it's going to get hot. You know, I need something to pull my hair up. And my hair was long at that time. But anyways, that was just something funny that I noticed. People just straighten their hair to go to prom. Like, Brittany Snow's hair was just bored straight and down. Nothing to it, just straightened. And she also went to a salon, like, to get that done, I think. So, anyways. Number 4. She stops taking her medication so she can feel things. I don't know. I just thought that was dumb. And it was also kind of like a foreshadowing thing. Like, it was foreshadowing that she's going to go through some more trauma. So maybe she could have really used some of that anxiety medicine. I don't know. Number 5. Why were kids just allowed to get hotel rooms? Because when I was in high school, I never heard of anybody getting a hotel room. But in all the movies that you watch of prom, some guy is getting a hotel room for him and his girlfriend. So I'm wondering, does this happen in real life? Do parents just allow this to happen? Or is it just like the accumulation of money saved from, like, their summer jobs or something? Or do their parents actually pay for the hotel? Do they give them money? So what I'm asking is, did this happen in real life? Like, do you know of people who got hotels when they were in high school after their prom? Because in real life I've never heard of it, but I've seen it a lot in movies. Also, this hotel is super high-end, like probably 5-star. The hotel room that they get, and I think there's like 6 people sharing this hotel room, so I mean they probably split it, but it's like a 4-room hotel room. There's the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom, and then the bathroom. So there's like, and I think there may have been 2 bedrooms. So anyways, I'm just wondering how they paid for it and how their parents just allowed them to have a hotel room. Number 6. These people look older than high schoolers. And this is something that a lot of people talk about, how in movies and TV shows teenagers don't look like teenagers. And the only person in this movie who looks like they could maybe be a teenager is Brittany Snow, but I think it's because she has a really young face. Like, if you look her up now, I think she still looks pretty young. But so I think it's just Brittany Snow, but she was 22. Brittany Snow was 22 when this was released. And her boyfriend was 28 when this released. Her boyfriend does not look like a teenager. I'm not falling for it. He does not even remotely look like a teenager. Number 7. The stalker killer guy is going through Donna's digital camera and he's deleting all of the ones with her and her boyfriend. 1, that's creepy, obviously. But 2, it's so sad. Like, I want to cry right now because I'm very dramatic anyways. But, like, I'm very much, like, I take pictures every day of my life. Like, I've gone through so many memory cards. It's insane. I've been through probably 2 this year already. And for one, I film on my phone, but two, I take a lot of pictures. And to lose any pictures, it just breaks my heart. Like, I can't imagine it. It would just, especially things like you want to remember, like vacation photos and photos with your friends and stuff like that. So, not only is it sad for her to lose these photos, right, but her boyfriend dies at the end of this movie. And now, she doesn't have it. Oh my gosh. She doesn't have any pictures of him. I'm going to get upset if I keep talking about it. It's so sad. It's just a movie, Miriam. Shut up. It's just a movie. But her boyfriend's dead, and now she doesn't even have any pictures of her and him together. Hopefully they uploaded it to MySpace. But like, oh, that's just sad. Anyways, so he's deleting all the pictures of her and her boyfriend because he wants her to himself. He's a very selfish person. I can't stand him. One, he killed a bunch of people, but two, like, don't delete people's photos. That's rude. And awful. Sorry that got a little emotional. Number 8. We're going to talk about a stupid little scene that I noticed. And I wrote down a big paragraph about it. So is it okay if I read it? Like, I'm going to read it to you because it's just a lot. So there's a scene where one of the boys goes looking for his girlfriend. And they've been fighting about college and you know, where they're going to go next. Well, when he gets up to the room, or apartment basically, like these hotel rooms are crazy. They're huge. When he goes up to the room, the killer locked himself in the bathroom with his girlfriend's dead body. So he thinks that she's just like giving him the cold shoulder and she's just mad at him. So he goes and sits on the couch and waits for her to come out. The door opens and he's waiting on the sofa for her to come into the living room, but she doesn't. So he goes to the bathroom and her body's gone. How the heck did that killer move her whole body from the bathroom without him hearing it, without us seeing it? He would have heard something. Dead bodies are not easy to carry, I'm assuming. You know, like when you carry a person who is alive, they at least have muscles where they can, I don't know, help you out. But like a dead body is just a limp. So there's no way that he could have moved this body without him knowing. Even though that the boyfriend waits on the couch for a few minutes while he's waiting for his girlfriend to come in there, and she doesn't, and so he goes in there, her body's gone. Like, how? This is impossible. And I know they did it just for like this movie, and like we aren't supposed to question it because the killer is the killer, but it was just stupid. I hated it. It was dumb. I think we're on number 9. If I get this wrong, I apologize, but number 9 is another senseless death. So I'm looking at my notes. The bellhop asked the killer if he's seen the housekeeper that he killed for the key. The hotel staff is looking for her. So the bellhop is sent up there to look for her. And instead of saying no, he didn't see her, he says, oh, she's in my room, you know, making my bed or something like that. And once he gets him in there, he kills him. And I know it's for when he can get like the bellhop suit later on, but honestly, he could have walked out of that hotel without anybody even noticing in just like normal clothes. Like, it was chaotic, like I said. He could have just done that. And so I felt like it was just another senseless death, just like the housekeeper. That was just another stupid thing I noticed. Number 10. So around the 1 hour and 13 minute mark, there's a really, really bad overdubbing of crying. It just looks bad. Oh, and that's it. That's all of the stupid things I noticed. Actually, this whole movie was stupid. Can we count that as number 11? Yeah, okay. Number 11. I don't have 11 fingers. Number 11 is that the whole movie was stupid. Okay, bye. I want to do Song of the Week, but I think all of my other phones are dead. Usually I just pull up a song on my phone. I'm pretty sure they're dead. Alright, so Song of the Week is Ruthless by The Marias. It's wonderful and great. The trumpet solo? It's not a trumpet. Saxophone? Oh my gosh. I'm terrible. Like, I can pinpoint the exact instrument they're using if it's like a stringed instrument. Like, oh, that's a mandolin, that's a ukulele, that's a banjo, an acoustic guitar, an electric guitar. I can do that. But I cannot, for the life of me, say, oh, that's a trumpet, or that's a saxophone, or I don't even know of any other ones. I can't think of any other horned instruments. But anyways, There's a horned instrument solo, I'm just going to say that. It's the bridge of the song, I believe, and it's wonderful and great, and I love this song so much, and I think you will too. You can go look that up. It's called Ruthless by the Marias. It is beautiful and wonderful. It's a very chill song, very laid back, and just relaxing, and I love it. So that's my song of the week, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next week. Bye.